If I was dropped out, cast away into the depths of the boreal forest or any northern temperate forest, and I had to survive, I had to choose very limited items, maybe one cutting tool. I think what would give me the best chance of actually getting by without being eaten by squirrels would most likely be a good axe. So why an axe over say a large knife or something like that? Well, an axe has got a huge amount of use. It's an incredibly versatile tool. So first off, it's incredibly good, say, if you're actually fighting off marauding grizzly bears. It's also pretty good for splitting kindling, you know, chopping wood, all that kind of stuff. Processing firewood. You can use it for finer tasks as well, so carving, just any kind of stock removal that requires a little bit more beef, an axe is perfect for. Primarily there's 3 axes that I use up here. First one I will talk about is this great lump here. This axe has been in my family for 4 generations at least. I don't know much about it, I don't know who made it because I can't see a stamp anywhere. But it's about a 4.5 pound head on a 36-inch hickory handle that I fitted, like I say, last year. But the brunt of my splitting work is done with this axe, and because of the weight of it and the actual shape of the bit, it drives through massive pieces of wood really nicely. However, the size of it, well, it's not the most fine thing, you know what I mean? It lacks finesse, shall we say. I can't really fit this in a backpack, and I can't really do much fine work with it. So that brings me on to the other end of the spectrum. This little guy here. This is the Small Forest Axe by Gransfors Bruks. I've had this one about 10 years now. It's on its 2nd handle. It's on its 3rd sheath. The edge is probably ground back a good ½ inch from when I originally got it. But for fine work, choking up, carving, splitting kindling, maybe some small felling, general work around the camp, light work around the woodland, this is a great tool. Really dependable. It feels like part of your body after such a long time. It's a very familiar feeling item. And I think it's that familiarity with the tool, its kind of finesse yet versatility, that's made it one of the most popular bushcraft pack axes. You can pop it in a backpack nice and easy. You can use it for carving tasks. You can do a little bit of splitting with it, and a small amount of felling with it. It's become one of the most iconic axes in this kind of scene, and for good reason. However, I wanted to find a middle ground, something that has a little bit more, I guess I can say, bite and performance for this one, without compromising too much on a larger size axe. So after last summer, we were doing some teaching work at the Bushcraft show, and my friend Scott let me borrow his Gransfors Bruks Wilderness axe. I got myself one. So this is the Wilderness axe, made by Gransfors Bruks in Sweden, designed by Ray Mears himself. I believe you can only get these through the Woodlaw website. This one I've just fallen in love with. Compared to the Small Forest axe, it's a little bit larger, but not too large if it doesn't fit in a backpack nice and easy. It's got a heavier head. It's got a more wedge-shaped head. I believe the head weighs 2 pounds on this one, and the bit is considerably wider. This lends the axe far more to splitting tasks and serious chopping tasks than the Small Forest axe. Despite being larger, it's perfectly balanced. When I choke it up here, it seems to float. So actually, when using it for finer tasks, like carving and stock removal, this axe has proved to be very efficient. Now, axe safety. Being safe with an axe and using it properly is paramount. Second to a chainsaw, an axe will do you the most damage any of the tools that we use out here. One wrong slip is all it takes. And I know that because I put that large 4.5 pound felling axe in my boot last year when I was being an idiot. But things happen. So there are a few ways that you can adapt your technique to be as safe as possible. First thing we need to understand is that the shorter the axe, the more dangerous it is. The reason for this is because the shorter the axe, the higher up your body and the closer to your femoral arteries, that triangle of death, is going to strike if we should miss. Next thing we want to account for is when we're using an axe, where is the axe going if we should miss or if it should glance off? So positioning the wood that we're splitting as well as our body in a safe place is paramount. An easy way to do this is by kneeling down. So with all that being said, if there was one axe that I had to pick, say for a canoe trip or a trip out to the boreal forest, out of these three, I'd be picking the Ray Mears Wilderness axe. Reason being is that it's got that extra bit of bite over the small forest axe, that extra splitting capacity, as well as still being a small enough axe to carry comfortably in a backpack.